And welcome back to another video. Before we start, I'd like to thank everybody who's watched my videos and has taken the time out of their day to listen to my lovely voice. So thank you very much for listening, and I'll keep making videos for my audience. Not very big at the moment, but slowly we're getting there. So we'd start today with news, not very good news, that NEM Foundation nearly broke. Plans layoff and pivot. The NEM Foundation, a community-funded non-profit established to promote the NEM blockchain, is planning layoffs across the entire 150-person staff in wake of severe budget cuts ahead of an imminent restructuring. The newly elected president of NEM Foundation, Alex Dinsman, told CoinDesk Wednesday the Singapore-based NEM Foundation now intends to submit a funding request to the NEM Community Fund for 160 million tokens, roughly worth $7.5 million. Money that would be used to rescue the organization. NEM tokens are listed under the XEM ticker with a circulating supply of 9 billion, according to CoinMarketCap. At press time, NEM is the world's 18th and largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization. I'll read down. As a result, the foundation's 202 members, people who undergo identity checks and pay an annual $50 membership fee, will be asked to vote on the funding request in February after it published on Thursday. So what is NEM? NEM token launched in 2015 under the guidance of former foundation president Lon Wong. The cryptocurrency is primarily used for transaction and service fees on the NEM blockchain. The launch of the platform native engine called Catapult, is scheduled for later this year. In the meantime, NEM pilot projects have often focused on use cases such as voting. So it's obviously not NEM themselves. It's it's a foundation which is kind of non-profit. But this kind of goes slightly more. And the reason I wanted to talk about this more was something I just saw, which is crypto winter, whether they're referring to Game of Thrones, for anybody who watches Game of Thrones. Obviously, 2018 was a strong consolidation year, if we'll call it that. Obviously, 12 months, nobody expected of a struggle with regulation, a struggle with government, a struggle with manipulation, a struggle with improvements, a struggle with realization of your projects. Now, we obviously heard news not too long ago that one of the Ethereum Classic developers or developed foundations had run out of money, and they were asking for donations, and donations unfortunately weren't too much in the terms of forthcoming. So they obviously had to cease their operations. Obviously, there probably are other developments for Ethereum Classic, because obviously the price is still increasing, decreasing, it's still moving, and the coin is still there. So I think in terms of Ethereum Classic, it's still sitting not too far from where it was before. NEM is sitting at number 18. So if we take for NEM, it's a $383 million project. With $22 million supply. 24-hour volume, so I should say. And obviously the supply is not massive. I mean, if you look at the next coin above Ethereum Classic, it's kind of like 5 times, 6 times, or actually more, 7 times the amount of NEM. And this kind of like, how do I put this without saying very, very harsh? Some of these coins will die, and not just the foundations, the whole project will die because the money will run out. Now, obviously, if this, community-funded non-profit, goes to the NEM community and says, we need money, and they say no, that will close. But generally, it's a wider problem about money running out for projects, and we also there was talk of Ethereum Classic, even talk of Dash, but I think Dash So we have money, but the coins with which are in the top, which are in the top 100, which don't do much volume, will not survive. And the fact that like Bitcoin, now I'm sure everybody's heard of it or held it at some point. Its 25 of them is $194,000. The market cap will start slowly coming down, and projects like this may or may not die off. Factum number 66, $212,000. Like it wouldn't take much to manipulate these pricings in terms of like pumping money into the market. Electronium, the project which was coming out of the UK and was meant to be, this Android wallet, iOS wallet where you can mine off the phone. It's only doing $500,000. The coins which are doing less than $1 million would need to look at and think, okay, we're not doing that well. Even Golem, I'm pretty sure Golem was going to be listed on Coinbase, and I shudder to think why. At a volume of $558,000. Obviously, some projects would be new. Some projects may still got a lot to offer, but a lot of these projects may not survive if any sort of low price bear market continues. It's not a good thing to say, but it's something which potentially will happen, and all that means is the ones who are holding coins for the top coins, and for me that would be obviously Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, EOS, Litecoin, possibly Stellar, Cardano, Monero, IOTA Dash, Neo. These coins will gain in value only because, it just means that a lot more of these other currencies will get money pumped into them and increase their value. So, for example, if we only ever had, in the crazy world of the future, 20, 30 coins. So we would look at, let's say, of a market cap now 113 billion. The other coins, except obviously Bitcoin, would have a lot more value to them because the money is not spread out, and it simply just works as a simple piece of cake, and you've got slices of pizza, and you've got sharing between 2 people and sharing between 8 people. Obviously, it's just simple economics that the ones with the least amount of friends, unfortunately, are going to get the most slices. And exactly what's going to be with Bitcoin, Bitcoin cryptocurrency. The coins which will survive, like I keep saying, the ones which are real world solutions. And I'm not saying that NEM can't survive. I'm just saying there are other coins which do the same project. And this is me not saying that NEM is dying. Obviously, nothing to do with it. It's obviously a separate community fund. But generally, the fact that coins will struggle with money at some point, because the less volume they have, the less news there is around them, eventually the projects will have to collapse. And it's just like companies, right? Companies will collapse if no one's buying their product. So it will happen, and it's inevitable. I think you can't have a market with 2,000 cryptocurrencies which are essentially a lot of them doing the same thing. Notably, some may do something which are very unique, like XRP and Stellar, what they offer. But a lot of them will offer similar things. We don't need more of the same. Unless something comes new into the market which offers that something which nothing else offers. For example, something came to the market and offered 10 million transactions a second with very low fees, which offered dApps, smart contracts, and had a massive amount of capital behind it, and wasn't a security, and had loads of partnerships, then obviously that's going to be a fantastic project. But that's kind of a utopian cryptocurrency, I think. But realistically, what we have seems enough, there will be stable coins which come in and out, but we don't really need any more cryptocurrencies at the moment. We just need to sort of build on what we have and move forward. And like I said, there's coins on the list which are even I see even in the top 10, which will at some point cease to exist. Yeah, again, these are just my opinion, but I've said it before. I'm not a massive fan of Bitcoin Cash. Why do we need a Bitcoin Cash? Why do we need Bitcoin SV? They both sit in the top 10, surprisingly. Volume is pretty good for these coins, but there are other coins which have similar volume. So, what do you guys think? I've gone on about this for 10 minutes now, but it's something I believe strongly. I think a lot of cryptocurrency YouTubers and people in the market would agree. It just means that our coins that ones are invested in do better. So let's move on. I don't keep talking about the same thing. So some more good news for Binance. Binance users can now pay for crypto with credit cards. Binance, the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, has adjusted trading volume, has just made it easier for users to buy cryptocurrencies. The exchange announced Thursday that it partnered with Israeli-based payments processing firm Simplex to enable purchases with Visa and MasterCard credit cards. At launch, the exchange is supporting credit card purchases for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and XRP. So obviously better than Coinbase already. These can be traded against up to 151 tokens offered by the exchange. So obviously the reason why they're offering these is because that's the base pairings for most everything now. So the only anything else left are the stable coins. So obviously Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and now XRP are now the base pairings for Binance. The crypto industry is still in early stages, and most of the world's money is still in fiat, said Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao. Building fiat's gateway is what we need to grow the ecosystem, increase adoption, and introduce crypto to more users. According to Binance's terms and conditions pages, some countries are excluded from this service, including Iraq, Cuba, Afghanistan, and Libya. In the US, 6 states are also not supported: New York, surprise, surprise, Connecticut, Hawaii, Georgia, New Mexico, and Washington. Regarding fees, Simplex charges 3.5% of the transaction with a minimum $10 minimum. With a $10 minimum flat fee. The daily limit is $20,000 per user, while the monthly max is $50,000 per user. The firm adds Simplex payments processing is subject to local bank policies. Some issuer banks may decline charges of their own terms, regardless if it resides in a supported jurisdiction. So what does it actually say? It doesn't actually say when this is going to kick off. But again, this is just more, more positive news from Binance, and something that what Binance are doing that, Coinbase already has those services. Obviously, it already has the ability to purchase straight off. And, to be fair to Coinbase, and not Coinbase bashing, their app is very, very good. Coinbase app is actually very, very good. It's very simple, very easy to use. It's very easy to set up. But what often happens is Coinbase is only a gateway app. Then you straight away transfer the money to Binance. Now, that's one level cut out. For me personally, I would buy into Bitcoin or Ethereum and then either hold those two or transfer into Binance and buy, for example, XRP or one of the other 151 tokens that they spoke about. And this is just great news. It just makes it a lot easier for people now to download the Binance app, and it's available on both iOS and Android. And obviously, I'm not affiliated to Binance in any way. They're not paying me. It's just my experience. So it will be even easier to add funds to your Binance wallet from fiat to one of the base pairings, and then purchase tokens. And this is a fantastic way. I was expecting them to do this. Obviously, we had news that they had launched Binance Jersey, and people in the regions of Europe and the UK could purchase in GBP or Euro, which was fantastic. And now they've done this, obviously with the exception of some countries. Obviously there are only 6 not supported, so you've got 44 states which will be able to use this, and obviously the other few countries which I don't imagine have that much high trading volume in Iraq, Cuba, Afghanistan compared to obviously the rest of the world. So yes, very good news. It just means more people are going to be introduced into coins which aren't on Coinbase, like XRP, and like all the other 151 coins they've got on there. I mean, the app is fantastic, and even now slightly better. So I'd like to see if there's any news. I'll keep you guys posted on when this will be already, if this is already added. The only thing is this: they're going to add a 3.5% fee. So if every time you use your credit card, it doesn't sound like much, but if you're going to add $100 to it, you're going to pay $3.50 for a transaction. And if you think about it, $3.50 potentially could be, about 4 or 5 XRP. That's the way I see it. Sorry, not 4 or 5, about 10. But I think that Coinbase charges as well. I thought maybe they would be slightly lower than that, but hey, it's better than nothing, I think. So I'd like to know what your thoughts are with this. As always, good news coming from Binance, good news coming from CZ. Always pushing forward with good ideas, and this is only going to enable the market for more and more people. So now when people ask me, how do I get into cryptocurrency? Before it was either download the Coinbase app, download Binance app, set up accounts with both of them, buy Ethereum from Coinbase, transfer to Binance, and they were like, okay, you lost me. Now it's download Binance, do your KYC, set up a credit card. I mean, it doesn't say whether it's debit or credit. I'm assuming it's just can be both, because a lot of debit cards have Visa attached to them, so I'm pretty sure you can use a debit card. So you set up your card, and away you go. So even easier now, one level easier. So unless Coinbase starts doing something quickly, they're going to lose a lot more trading volume in terms of at one point it was number 1 and probably now it's number 2. So very good news, very good thumbs up to Binance, and keep up the good work. And let's move on. So is this a Mystic Mega moment? Will we see prices increase in 2019 from February onwards? February is often good for Bitcoin prices. Will history repeat in 2019? The probability of Bitcoin ending its 4-year February winning streak in 2019 is high. Now, as the primary trends is bearish for the first time in the last 3 years. Further, BTC's failure to capitalize on a bullish pattern on a 3-day chart indicates bearish sentiment is still quite strong. More time to buy then. BTC risks falling to December lows near $3,100 in the next few days. The odds of BTC ending February in the green would rise sharply if prices see a strong bounce from the crucial 200-week moving average of $3,298. Lovely. Bitcoin could end a 4-year February winning streak unless prices see strong bounce from key support. The leading cryptocurrency by market capitalization gained 16, 18, 23.5 and 1.6% in the second month from 2015, 16, 17, 18. Wow, look at that. From 6, 17, 23% and 18, 1.6. Respectively, according to CoinDesk Bitcoin Price Index. So yeah, here's 2015. If you can't see, if you're not looking at the screen, it gained a 16% gain, and 16, and obviously a big year, 23% in February is massive. And obviously in January, it was up and down. So you had a gain in 12, a massive gain in 13, a small gain in 14, a big loss in 15, a loss in 16, and a small loss in 17, and a big loss in 18. So our losses compared to last year aren't as bad. Obviously prices are already low, I don't think personally that anything's going to change in favour. I think it's going to break a winning streak only on the basis that there isn't much news coming out at the moment, and a lot of stuff we were waiting on. And I don't want to talk about ETF because obviously that's dead at the moment. The back stuff we would have expected back to be launched by now, but it hasn't. And there's also some news on Fidelity. If I can find the article, I'll talk about it. That the prices will probably move sideways unless there's some major news which comes up or some major announcements. Well, news announcement, same thing really. Unfortunately, I don't think the gains will start moving in. I mean, it would need to have a month worth of more positives than negative in that month, and 2019 already started off with a negative 7%. So we were expecting new year, new change, but it feels more like a 2014 thing. So whether we're going to get even more losses in February, like a 31%, only we'll see. But then if you look at 2015, they had a big loss in Jan, and they made half of it back, about 16% gain in Feb. So very interesting. I think this article suggests that we're probably going to break the cycle, and we're going to go to lows. Hopefully February can also be a month of hitting the bottom and moving upwards into March. So let me know what you guys think about that. Are we going to see another sort of bearish sentiment for 2019 Feb, or is there news that I don't know about which is going to propel Bitcoin up? I mean, price can change all of a sudden. Analysis doesn't ultimately mean anything once something else occurs. It's wrong. But I'm only going by what I'm seeing in the market and what I'm seeing with pricing. The Bitcoin price is was up and now it's down, and again we're moving sideways again. And if we look at the last 7 days, apart from a massive bit of a drop here, we have started moving sideways, and we've got new resistance of, there it is, 3,400. But again, we seem to just getting lower and lower. Resistance was 3.7, and then it moved to 3.5 or 3.6, 3.5, and then we had just above 3.4. Now it's 3.4. I expect us to go lower now. I don't think that we have bottomed. If it didn't bottom in $3,100 in December, I think we're gonna, in my opinion, we'll have to go lower to go higher then. So hopefully Feb we can just get down to if it's $2,800, which is the bottom, we can just get down to $2,800 and buy more Bitcoin and for it to go up again. So like I spoke about yesterday, it's up to us, people power. Hold your coins, don't sell them, and we can help raise the price by investing at the right times and investing wisely. Anyway, well, let's move on. And so this might be the bit of news I want to talk about, which may help keep that February high record going. So Fidelity launching Bitcoin custody in Q1 2019. So we've obviously got from now until end of March. Fidelity Investments, the world's fifth largest asset management with $2.5 trillion under management, is launching a Bitcoin custodial product aimed at institutional investors to expand its digital asset service. Now, obviously, Fidelity have been talking about this for a while now, so we've got a date now. So, scheduled for a March 2019 launch, the offering comes after Fidelity announced support for cryptocurrencies in 2018 and introduced trading services for accredited firms and family offices. However, individuals cannot obtain these services yet. Well, going to be big money coming in then, possibly. Popular opinion from these cryptos circles states institutional entry into the burgeoning market could save plunging prices and bring forth needed development. Currently, Wall Street is devoid of a trust name and for facilitating cryptocurrency trading, custody, or wallet services. But firms like Fidelity are looking to spearhead development in this regard. In a statement, the company noted a select set of clients are currently offered Fidelity custodial services via its digital assets subsidiary and has been proponent for digital currencies, unlike some Wall Street rivals. Fidelity recognizes that cryptocurrencies are a strong contender as an alternative investment vehicle in the future. In October 2018 blog post, the firm stated that while currently used cryptocurrency wallets are built with sophisticated features such as multi-signature protocols and offline storage, they're largely inadequate to serve institutional needs. For institutions, the most pressing unanswered question is how, if they choose to hold digital assets for their customers, these assets will be secured. The answer is the full-service institutional custody solutions are needed. Solutions are equally robust as those provided for traditional assets. So, yeah, I mean, this could help it slump out of the slump that it's currently in. So, my short-term outlook is that we're going to go lower. We will probably go sideways until possibly a big bang in March. With if this is correct and they're actually going to launch in March and not delay, that back launches in March and Fidelity launches in March as well, and possibly going into the end of 2019, 2020, if a company like Fidelity or someone like that is going to go for an ETF, then if they can show that they have custody and the custody work and it's secure, then this is the missing piece for the SEC. So obviously those people talking about Bitcoin going to zero, Bitcoin is useless, worthless. These guys don't think it is, and I'm pretty sure these guys are holding Bitcoin as well, just like all other big players in the market. I wish we didn't need these people but at the moment I think we need this sort of push up, and ultimately it's gonna, other people who read this article will get excited and think, oh, if they're doing it, then I should be doing it because they're a big company and they know what they're doing, and what I knew is not relevant. But we know this already. We know we should be buying these coins, in my opinion. And Fidelity are gonna start offering this out, and slowly the price start increasing, and then it will get pushed out the market, like I mentioned yesterday. So good to see they've given it a date, a month date, not like a specific date. So let's hope it's sometime in March. Let's say the 15th of March. This launches, money starts coming in. They obviously probably canvassed out their clients, and the clients have suggested that they want this product. So we will see what's going to happen. It's not long, to be honest. Tomorrow's February, so we've really only got like 45 days until potentially this product launches, along with hopefully backed. And are we going to see a renewed insurgence of price from sort of March 2019? So, as always, great making this video. What do you guys think? Is it going to be a bull run for March? Is it going to be a bull run tomorrow? Or tomorrow is February actually. So are we going to see prices increase tomorrow? I don't think so. I would love to hear your thoughts. As always, please like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Goodbye.